Hey, Tom,
Hey, Brandon.
what? Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Hi.
Did you have a thing you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was your thing?
Um, did you know you and your Packers could really help me out tonight?
Could we?
Yeah. So Broncos Packers have the worst and second worst run defenses in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
You're playing the Raiders, who currently are fighting with the Broncos for draft position. If you guys could just lose to the Raiders, let Josh Jacobs run all over your defense, and just give us this 1 week, we'll lose to you in 2 weekends.
See, my question was, are you afraid of my pee now? Oh, baby. We pissing.
We kissing.
There, I was hoping you would get it. You on the mouth. Welcome to another edition.
Ooh, we're the P-Boys. Welcome to the P-Boys.
Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS.
On clickbait for you to recreate rich G-man Goins living on. Oh my God. No, no, that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut. Very deep cut.
Baby, we are here, and we just saw each other. We just saw each other.
We both have late nights, long days. We're both tired, but you know, I want to thank everybody who watches this show, Tom, because we did the numbers. We crunched the numbers, you and I, and GPS in the month of September. First million viewed month ever for this show, baby. First million viewed month ever. So
that's going to help our teams,
awesome.
Right?
What's that?
That's going to help our teams, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Here's my legitimate question.
One or two.
You think if both the Broncos and the Packers were in the playoffs with legit chances to go to the Super Bowl, or the Packers and the Broncos were the first and second worst team in the league, which month are we doing better than 1 million views?
Oh,
January playoffs or bottom feeders?
It depends on why. Like, how bad is the bottom feeding, right? Because that's what she said. But the
whoa,
it's innuendos all day, baby.
I like it.
So it depends, because if they're losing like the Broncos and the Packers are doing that, then that's going to be doing the best. But for that one game where, like, if they play in the Super Bowl, like, we're breaking every record imaginable. Also, we would be the most insufferable human beings.
Yeah.
Clickbait, we would walk in to, like, royalty music every single time, a crown upon our head. Yeah.
So somebody just feeding us grapes off screen.
Yep. Yeah, I can teach Sinclair. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right now, Carolina and maybe New England, maybe Giants.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I think the Carolina Panthers are going to get better kind of as the season goes. I don't know if the Broncos are. I don't know if the Patriots are. Like, the Panthers are legit trying to build for their future, right? They are like, hey, we made this move for our quarterback. We gotta build around him. They may be trading for one of the Broncos receivers. Who knows? And then they're not good. Don't get me wrong, but other teams are in positions where there's like no reason to get better, and it feels like things are snowballing and getting out of control for the Patriots, for the Broncos, and maybe the Cowboys at this point too.
Oh yeah, well, don't worry, Scooter's gonna. Because what did I? Oh, I would say, what did I say, Perna? But you weren't there. So on Thursday, I told, because Scooter was trying to defend the Cowboys because they were saying, did they play anybody and all this great stuff. And I said, listen, none of that matters. I said, but if you get your ass kicked by the 49ers, not lose, if you get your ass kicked, that's when it's going to be a big problem. And boy, oh boy, did they get their ass kicked last night.
Dang.
That was
Nostradamus was strong this week, wasn't he?
Yes.
Cowboys, you peed for the D, and oh my God, Packers should watch out tonight.
They may score 105.
They could, but if you get angry at them tonight,
my wrath.
Yeah, your wrath would scare me tonight.
I know, I saw that. That sucks. Emmanuel Mosley's gonna be out for the year. For the Lions.
Damn.
He's a free agent pickup that they got. There was that. I mean, Daniel Jones is injured. He's going to be out for a little bit. They don't think it's that serious. Anthony Richardson could be out about a month, a little bit more, depending.
That sucks. The Richardson one is really, I think, frustrating because every time he's on the field, he looks good.
Yeah.
He looks fun. And he's just taken, 3 or 4 terrible shots, and AC joint sprain, when it's bad, you can't throw with it. So, and he had a really nice throw in the game, but with every darkest hour, there comes a dawn, and his name is Gardner Minshew, baby. Gardner Minshew and Zach Moss. They are the dawn the Colts deserve, and they will carry them till Richardson is right and ready to go. So
congratulations on your marriage. It went better than a lot of games.
Well, congratulations. Never get married on a Sunday. Army Strong 19.
Yeah, during the football season, you know what? I'm happy for you. Congratulations. But
I think that's true love. I mean, you must really love this person.
Or that's a rookie move. I mean, that's just we can be better. I mean,
again, remember, I referenced the Broncos in the opening line of my wedding vows to Jess. So football is marriage. Football's marriage.
Listen, I want to talk about, if you want to talk about the Cowboys to make you feel a little bit better first, Perna, before we dive into the Broncos. You want to just start with last night's game?
Yeah, let's start because
let's just get there.
I was legitimately, while that game was happening, I was editing the new worst.
It's true.
And I was like, man, the Cowboys are getting beat. 2 thoughts. I was like, I wonder how the stream's going with Tom and his dad right now.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I feel bad for Scooter. Because you just told me what he said on clickbait. Because in my head, I go, I don't know what he said this week, but I'm sure it's backfiring.
Oh, it backfired tremendously. Yeah, no, it was because you know what? If it was a competitive game, everyone would have still laughed at the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
It would have still laughed. But the
Cowboys,
way they lost,
they could have lost this game. But if fans walked away and said, you know what, they put up a fight, they would have been all right. So the Cowboys could have won. They could have lost this game respectably, and they would have been okay. But instead, Dak Prescott threw 3 picks, 3 interceptions in this game.
He came in
with just
1.
Praised him.
1.
Yeah. What's up?
I said he came in with 1 interception.
Yeah, he was the thing he was getting ripped for the last 2 years or whatever. He'd corrected it. We thought he had corrected it. It's like, hey, they're not their offense isn't torching defenses, but Dak's playing smart football. And when your defense is as good as the Cowboys' defense has been this season, that's all you got to do. And then their offense didn't work. No defense really works against the 49ers, but they looked like one of the best defenses in the league, and they lost 42-10. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Give me Justin Simmons, please.
Yeah, I think it's Simmons and Judy.
Give me Justin Simmons, please.
I don't think the Broncos would trade Pat Surtain. I think it'd be stupid to trade him because you can trade guys for draft picks and free up cap space and assets and all that stuff, but you have to replace those guys.
Yes.
And Judy's a guy who I'm at a point where I just want to see him. I want to see what Judy can do on a good offense. Just go let him do his thing because he's dying in Denver. And that said, like Marvin Mims, one of our best players, just on the sideline for half the game anyway. So, like, why the fuck would we keep any receivers? Because we're not going to use them. Anyway, we're talking about the Cowboys. Got distracted there.
We're talking about the Cowboys. Talk about the Cowboys first.
What was your take from the game? You know, because like I had it on, but like I'm dialed into editing. I know like Kittle, he had one of the best sound bites after the game because he scored 3 touchdowns, 3 receptions, and they asked him about it. He's like, "This is," I'm paraphrasing. He's like, "It was my favorite thing. I credit Brock Purdy for throwing the ball to me when I'm in space. I wasn't tackled at all. My body's going to feel great tomorrow." That's what I really love about this.
He was wearing an F Dallas shirt underneath his jersey the entire time.
Why is he so cool?
He is. He like George. I hate it, but like the Rangers outscored the Cowboys. Like George Kittle, dude. Like, and it's funny too because as like I know that we view a lot of players, and I'm saying we as like fandom and everything as like fantasy producers, right? It's like, oh, George Kittle really not putting up those fantasy numbers. Then he has like 3 touchdowns. And I think it was a reminder of like, oh, Kittle's been quiet. Guess what? Like, he's still one of the best if we decide to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they have so many weapons, Perna. It's George Kittle has 3 touchdowns. Brock Purdy was phenomenal last night. Like, he was so incredibly accurate. Like, it was disgusting. He was threading the needle, even when he didn't have to. He was threading the needle, and it was beautiful. That's another one. But, of course, you have CMC, who now has 14 straight games with a touchdown, which is insane, right? Like, if you just think about it, like, that's almost an entire season of football, and he's scoring every single time. That's wild. Then on top of that, Brandon Ayuk has, like, developed into a really good, like, threat for the 49ers. Oh, yeah, and their defense is good in a night where their pass rush was, like, not incredibly good, like, but Dak just looked so bad. So it's a mix of the 49ers. They reminded me a little bit of, like, the old school Patriots, where they're like, hey, we're just going to score because we're just good, and we're going to wait for you to mess up, and then we're going to pour it on even more. And that's what they did to the Cowboys last night. The Cowboys could not get anything going. And by the time they could, it was done.
The Cowboys are in trouble because, unfortunately for Dallas, they just can't play inferior competition all season. And that's partially why they have looked so good at times. The 49ers also, this week, if you recall, traded for Broncos edge rusher Randy Gregory.
Yes.
Last year, the Denver Broncos released Melvin Gordon. Where did he land? On the Kansas City Chiefs. What happened to the Chiefs? They won a Super Bowl. 49ers, you just secured yourself a Super Bowl victory by bringing in Randy Gregory. I am more certain than ever that the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl based solely on the fact that they took somebody the Broncos no longer wanted. Everything the Broncos do is wrong. And Randy Gregory's probably going to have a sack in the Super Bowl. Melvin Gordon, of course, he was on the practice squad. You know what I mean? It was a little different, but
sure.
You know, Randy Gregory's your reserve edge rusher. Like, he's going to get it. He's going to do something. He's going to do something, and we're all going to see it, and we're all going to laugh at my team. Mm-hmm. We sent Von Miller to the Rams, wins the Super Bowl. That was a little bit different. Send Bradley Chubb to the Dolphins. They're phenomenal. Like, we can't do the right thing. Trade for Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. Terrible. Both of them sucked this week. And I'd been praising Russ. Been praising him because he was playing well.
Yeah.
This week, he was bad. Sean Payton was bad. Both of them are, I feel like, personal vendettas against me as a fan, as a Broncos fan. They are just like, hey, here is a shit pie. Sit down and eat it, Broncos fan, and enjoy it because you ain't getting any other meals for the rest of the season. And I have to eat it, Tom, because I'm hungry. Do I like the taste of horse feces baked into a little pie every week? No, I do not. But that's what I'm getting served. Horse manure pie. Anyway, the Dallas Cowboys
won't be here. 49ers will. AFC, I have no idea.
You know what's really funny about the 49ers last night, Tom?
Tell me, buddy.
I hold on. I got to look it up because I can't even remember his freaking name right now. 49ers, Cowboys. Going into the box score here. Do you know who the 49ers leading rusher was?
Last night?
Yeah.
Oh, was it Mason?
Yeah, Jordan Mason, 69 yards, 10 carries, a touchdown. Who the hell's Jordan Mason? Is he the Brock Purdy of running backs at this point? Who the hell is Jordan Mason? Curse wheel is overrated.
It just can't impact the 49ers either, too. Like,
no, they went to number 1, and they're probably going to stay number 1 because legit, like, I don't think there's a team that's even on par with the 49ers currently. Nope. And this is what I love about, like, weeks 5 through 10. It's when good teams start to separate. Yep. It's when the bad teams become legitimately bad. And then there's a few surprise teams that kind of turn it around. Maybe the Bengals are in there, but like the Niners, if they stay healthy, they're winning the Super Bowl. I feel like we're going to get a Lions-Niners NFC Championship game or Eagles-Niners. Like Eagles-Lions, you could debate on who's a better football team, who's better.
Exactly.
There's no debating 49ers. Chiefs aren't as good as they have been. Bills did a poo-poo in London. Like the AFC is kind of wide open. The Dolphins
a mess.
Are beatable. We saw the Bills beat them. So, Niners and then the field right now.
The good news is like there's a ton of season that's left, but not for the 49ers wish the playoffs started tomorrow. Because
they're like, can we just go?
We're healthy. We're playing well. Please. Like, you look at the 49ers upcoming schedule though, like legitimately their upcoming schedule, they have the Browns, who like tough defense. I'm curious to see like what they do against that defense. That should be interesting at least. Then they have the Vikings, who I think they should be able to beat, right? Then they have the Bengals, who they won yesterday against the Cardinals, but I don't know, like Jamar Chase had a phenomenal day. But dude, like I don't even know when they get tested, except Seahawks game, it could be like weird, Jaguars maybe, but like the Eagles game in December, like that's the one I'm circling going like, yeah, like December football, starting to get ready for the playoffs. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
That's going to be like the test. So, dude.
Yeah. The Niners
kill me. Because I'm an idiot. And I'm like, I'm going to stream every primetime game again. And guess what? I did. And now I have to watch the Giants and the Bills. I have to watch the Giants again on primetime. And we don't even get to see Daniel Jones. Sorry, that was a little rant. I just saw it and I was like, why is this not flexed out? And it made me upset. Continue, Brandon. That's a great point.
What's up?
That's a great point. Eagles, 49ers is what I was talking about. 49ers schedule.
Yeah.
This isn't clickbait, okay? You can't just not pay attention for like time on end.
My mom was texting me.
Well, it's everything all right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's something dumb, isn't it?
No, we're good. You know what's dumb are my pick'ems and Underdog fantasy, Tom.
No, we're not going that. We're going to the Broncos first. We're only 18 minutes into the show. We're only 18 minutes into the show, Perna. Okay, we're done with the 49ers, I guess. Then again. So, I do want to talk about the Broncos because today we're going to talk about like whose season do we think is over already? It's week 5 going into week 6. Now...
You're going to have to take that up with my dad, Jason. My dad could beat you up, buddy. He's in his 60s, but he's still stronger than me.
I'm sorry. The fact that says Mr. Manhattan is the greatest thing. That's amazing.
Oh, you know what we should do? You know what's a punishment for Adam?
Watching the Giants, being a Giants fan?
No. He has to change his dating profile picture to that for a week.
Ooh, that would be good.
Oh my God, yeah.
That would be pretty good.
We got to make sure he will agree to. He might agree to do it too. He's a little messed up like that, you know.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, if he does that, gets some hits, what does that say?
That there's someone for everyone out there.
Do you go and see what happens, or
Gotta be open, baby. Gotta be open. All right, I do want to talk about, because we're gonna talk about whose season's over already. But for people who didn't tune into the Broncos game because they enjoyed happiness and good football, we have been talking about Russell Wilson playing so well because he has been. Like, he has not
even
been
like
the reason
so well, but just good. He's been feeling good enough about the trade. Where like
last week he played really well.
With this guy, we can win with Russ. So
he wasn't the issue. Yesterday, he was not good. But it's tough because the offense was so bad. It's tough to be like, oh, that's on Russell Wilson. Which, again, who was bad? I'm not trying to save Russell Wilson. But the whole, the coaching, the play calling, the lack of execution by personnel, everything was bad.
Yeah. And we have no luck either, so.
And then you decided to challenge my urine, but that's a different story.
That was stupid.
My question is, with a bunch of these teams, and maybe I feel like, maybe I'm off base here. I feel like there's a few teams that are in this weird, I don't know what to do with them, and I don't see things getting better. Because we're in October now. September, especially the first few weeks, you're kind of like, okay, right? Getting the growing pains out, the Bills losing to the Jets, we were like, all right. And then now, of course, with like injuries to Matt Milano, like that's a whole nother thing. But what can the Broncos do to get better this season, or is it done?
Oh, we cooked. We done. We done, buddy. No hope for Denver. See, right now, this is the Tankathon draft order.
Mm-hmm.
If you are like paying attention to draft order in October,
the first week of October,
in the first week of October, your team is already fucking dead, man. Your team died a while ago, and you're just getting the news. You're just getting the news. Oh, shoot. My loved one gone.
Jesus.
So Chicago, as a team, I don't think their season's over. I think the Bears are just getting started in terms of building for the future. Now, whether or not they're actually good, whether or not they can hang with, competitive football teams, I don't know. But the Bears sitting there at the number 2 spot, I think they will finish probably top 10, but closer to like 8 or 9 in draft order. I think they're going to win some games.
I think so too.
We saw DJ Moore perform the way we thought he would when the Bears traded for him.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields was good, all that stuff. So the Bears are fine, specifically because they can just let the Carolina Panthers continue their tank for them, right? They don't even have to tank. They're just like, let's just let the Panthers be bad. The Broncos, they have lost 3 of their 4 winnable games to start their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They lost week 1 to the Raiders. They lost to the Commanders, who Chicago pummeled. And then they lost to the Jets. They beat the Bears, but those are the 3 games they were supposed to beat. Those are 3 games they were supposed to win. So the fact that they're 1-4, and now it's like they already traded Gregory, all the rumors about them being willing to deal more players suggests that maybe Sean Payton isn't bad, but maybe this is part of the plan. I don't think he's as good as a coach as we maybe thought. I think he's a good offensive coach, but even this last game was kind of like there were several situations where like, what's going on here? I think that also suggests Russell Wilson will never be the guy again. I think Russell Wilson's at a point in his career.
I think it's done.
Where he can win football games. He can be a serviceable quarterback if everything around him is very good. And that is not the type of player you trade everything for. So I believe the Broncos are looking to move past Russell Wilson at this point.
Real quick, just to answer this, Mike McCarthy was a really good head coach for especially earlier in his tenure. The play designs are really good and stuff like that. as time went on, he kind of gave the keys to Aaron Rodgers and allowed an elite quarterback just to run the offense. Yeah. And that suffered because we never fixed our defense. And when Rodgers played poorly, we were screwed. That's why like Brett Hundley came in, and Brett Hundley wasn't good anyway. But like that's why that did not work out, right? That's why anytime Rodgers had an injury, we were most likely screwed. So I don't think McCarthy might be the answer in Dallas, but you might have the answer at your defensive coordinator. So, like, that's good news. It's just a matter of if Jerry does anything. But I think, again, even with the Cowboys, there is... I'm sorry to get back to the Cowboys. Perna, like, a few weeks ago, like, we had this conversation. It was, like, week 2. And we were like, we're just waiting. Because they beat the crap out of the Giants. They beat the crap out of the Jets. And we're like, okay... Like, we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, when are the Cowboys going to blow it? They lost to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are a chippy team, right? Far from the worst team. But then last night happens when they go against actual competition, and they got steamrolled. And it just seems like this happens every single year. And the reason I relate to this is because with the Packers... That's what would happen too. We would have this amazing regular season, would be number 1 in the NFC, and then we would face a team like the 49ers who would punch us in the mouth and be like, I'm so sorry. And it just seems like it's the same thing that's happening over and over again every year with the Cowboys.
Yeah. There needs to be like a how you win stat.
Yeah.
Like how you won and why it's impressive. Answer Dan H just said something that's very, very true about Russell Wilson.
They might be.
And I put it in the new worst game ever. He is a streaky quarterback. And streaky within games, though, because it happened a lot last year, and it happened yesterday during the game. And I think Andrew Mason put out the tweet with the stats. But there was that series after halftime where the Broncos offense, they gained 4 net yards, and then it was like -4, -3, -6 and a fumble, -2 net yards on the next like series. And that happens with Russell Wilson where a quarter and a half, your offense is going to do nothing. Now, he might play great in a quarter where it's like two touchdowns from Russ in the offense. Like overall, if you go back and look at the stats from the game, it's like a respectable thing. But within that game, there's another story of the offense doing nothing. And while they're doing nothing, the other team either runs away with the lead, climbs out of a deficit. Ultimately, your team's just put in a bad position because you're not doing something consistently, or you're not doing something that other like good quarterbacks do consistently, and that's put your offense in a position to score points. It doesn't have to be touchdowns. Could be, a field goal here. Like if one or two of those drives were positives instead of literally negative net yards, and it's like, oh, it was a 30-yard drive, but they were able to hit a 42-yard field goal. You do that 1 or 2 times, then you're talking about like a different outcome probably in a lot of games. And Russ just, for whatever reason, for as long as he's been in the league too, like there's no excuse for it at this point. And that's what's frustrating to watch with Russ.
Congrats.
And you can get away with it if you have like an elite running game where if you're a head coach, you got to know like, oh, Russ ain't got it right now. Let's just keep running the ball and, we'll run it down their throats. And I think that's what Seattle did during Russ's career. Early. So yeah, that's, Broncos are bad. They are, their season's over. Minnesota, I don't think their season is over. I don't think they're going to be good, but they hung with the Chiefs. Like that was a winnable game for them yesterday. Patriots season is over. Giant season's over.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders, a lot depends on what happens tonight against your Packers.
Sure.
Cardinals are going to keep fighing.
And when Kyler Murray comes back, whenever that's going to be, like, I think they're going to be even better. So, like, I see them, 8 wins, maybe something like that. Maybe something around there for the Cardinals. Maybe even 7. That, yeah. And then there's like weird teams like the Commanders. They're on a 3-game losing streak. So like they won 2 and then that's gone. And I like Sam Howell too, and I think they'll be competitive. Definitely. I know Thursday was kind of not great, but Tennessee, I have no idea. The Titans, I think out of all of the teams in the NFL, I think I am the most out of touch with the Titans. Their fan base, I get it. But their team, dude, like I cannot predict a game to save my life for them. Like, because they're such a weird, they'll lose 27-3, then they'll win 27-3. Then they'll go out and they'll lose to the Colts. And it's just like, man, like I don't know what they are. They are a streaky team. They're a weird team who's always gonna have a good defensive line, and maybe their offense is gonna show up.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what, Aaron? I think the Eagles had their most impressive win.
Eagles too.
The Eagles, they beat, I think, like a good football team in the Rams. They, Jalen Hurts had his second 300-yard passing game, led the team in rushing. Just a solid win against the Rams. I think the Eagles will get a little more attention. Here's something that I love about the NFL, though, Tom. Okay. Look at the top teams.
Yep.
San Francisco 5-0, Philly 5-0, Detroit 4-1. We all assumed this would be another year where the AFC was the dominant division, the juggernaut. NFC, maybe one or two teams. I think the NFC is kind of the tougher overall division right now. You got,
I agree, conference
better top flight football happening in the NFC, and it just changes so frequently in the NFL. It's what keeps it interesting year to year.
Brandon, I'm gonna have like a really deep question that I don't know if we have time for.
Okay,
but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
Sure.
Because you were talking about the Broncos and kind of like, oh, if that doesn't work, you go to the ground game and blah 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 blah. Do you think, because I think we talked about this like a few weeks ago, like, and I know there's a bunch of articles that were put out about it, like the deep ball being dead, right? In which it's kind of a lot of like check downs and run
that was
games.
early. That was like week 2, but yeah,
that was like a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Do you think like the NFL is going through this weird, like, okay, you know what? The deep ball is not going to be there as much. So now you need to learn how to just like rip off chunks of yards, like either on the ground, right? So have a decent ground game, or it's just like 3-yard gain, throw it behind the line of scrimmage, lots of screens. And that primarily is the offense, and the teams that are doing it better, those are the ones who are going to win. And the reason I bring that up is because the Lions, who like went deep into their bag of tricks yesterday against the Panthers, there's a clip going around that the Lions and the 49ers literally called the exact same play. One? Yes, the Laporta Kittle one. And I'm like, damn, like maybe it's just like these really innovative teams like calling these different kinds of plays. Like that's why the Chiefs usually do pretty damn well too. Like they're the ones who are constantly going. And if you're stuck of like calling like old school football, it's not going to work out. And if you're not adapting literally every single week, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, the Niners and the Dolphins are doing that style of offense better than anyone.
Yeah.
And they can do a lot of short passes because they have, what do they have? Explosive playmakers, right? They have guys who will turn a 6-yard pass into a 30-yard gain. And those guys do it consistently. They have running backs who can open up the game for them as well. And when you're doing those things well, then those deep shots do emerge. Mm-hmm. Now, the Chiefs, I feel like, are in this weird transition period where, in terms of like the deep ball, it's the too high safety Fangio shell shit that defenses are running. They're like, all right. And it happened a lot because of the way the Chiefs would beat you with Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. Like, we're not going to let Tyreek Hill get open 30 yards downfield after Mahomes extends the play for 10 minutes. We're going to just force you to beat us that other way. And if you do, fine. So a lot of teams started doing it. And now it's the teams that adjusted to that and don't need those deep shots to beat you. So, it is about evolving with that. And the Chiefs don't have it right now because, one, Kelsey's been injured. But two, it's just like they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. And last year, their group of receivers made up for it. And this year, I think Mahomes is still building chemistry with a lot of those guys. and it's maybe like Rashee Rice turns into the dude from there, but like yeah, it's an evolution. And I think the Chiefs will be there towards, middle to the end of the season, but
yeah,
they don't have the playmakers that the Dolphins and 49ers have.
Timothy, what a fitting. Saying change is going through in terms of the deep balls because it's 2018. Yeah, because that's what we're talking about, right? Because they shifted to that too high. And now it's like, okay, well, now this is what it is. It's underneath routes. Yeah. It's check downs. It's because was it last night's game? It might have been last night's game. I'm sorry. They kind of all blend together at this point. But like, I think might have been the Cowboys who did like the same play like 3 times in a row. And it was just like little shot over the middle. Shot over the middle. Like that's it. Like 4 yards. 4 yards. And that's like, they were just like taking tiny little bits of yards and trying to get first downs there. And it's just like, this is really not fun football. Like, it's not innovative. It's not anything. And they were losing. It might have been the Broncos. I'm sorry. It was one of the teams that was losing. But the point being is that, like, I feel like that is a lot more common than what you used to see of just like airing it out, letting it fly. And teams still do that, right?
Yeah.
I just think the consistency of it has like dramatically decreased. And Tim?
Yeah, I mean, you want a quarterback who's going to hit on those shots because it feels like there are fewer ones available. It's kind of like the Bengals, I feel like, were the outlier there where, Burrow just hucking it down. And the Bills to an extent. But if that part of the game's not working, you better be able to run the football or do something with those short intermediate passes.
Yeah.
And the teams that do it well are the Dolphins and the Niners. It's impressive.
Timothy, I got you.
I've really enjoyed making love to your ears. I think that you have beautiful ears. They fit very nicely. So I would say it would be an erotic.
That's the guy that won.
Yeah, baby. Some would say 2 high safeties.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you find the guy who was wearing the I'm Dying Inside shirt?
No, I didn't. Nobody found the I'm Dying Inside guy.
Damn.
I need a time code. I bet I can find it if somebody knows
helmets were nice.
Where it was in the game. I can't remember.
Yeah. Don't worry, Frank. It's back. Welcome back. Bern and I were talking about this yesterday. It's welcome back. Yeah,
we're welcoming Patriots fans. Come be miserable with us. Check your old ego at the door. Your shit-talking ego, your elitist attitude, because you ain't got it anymore, and we will welcome you back down to the dirt floor of rolling around in the filth of not winning.
What's interesting, the point we were just talking about, is like the reason why the 49ers and like the Dolphins, they do those things so well is because like they can call the exact same play. Like, let's just say it's a wide receiver screen. Right? They do that for Deebo Samuel. He can rip off 15 yards.
Yeah.
Where another player might like whip off 3, that's on the Panthers. Like if it's Jonathan Mingo or something. That I think too, like puts them just in a league of their own because they have those like skill players that can take those normal plays where you just would get like 2 or 3 yards and they can get first downs with them.
Yeah. And they've got the line that blocks for it, right?
Yes.
They've got the offensive line that blocks for it. The Eagles run a very different offense than those guys from my perspective. Maybe it's the same fucking thing. I really don't know enough about football to be educated on it. But like the Eagles run a different offense and it's successful because they got the line. Dolphins just struggled because not this week before.
Yeah.
Injuries to that line. So the 49ers, yes, McCaffrey can rip it, Deebo can rip it, but they're always setting it up for that to work.
Yeah.
You watched the Broncos yesterday.
Yeah.
They tried to set up some of that stuff. It just doesn't work that often.
They will not because of money and reservations for stadiums and things like that. But I know Bills fans.
That's like, and I get it. Maybe that field, that turf isn't ideal, but like the Jags played there 2 straight weeks. They're not complaining about it. It's when you get injured and you lose, that stuff gets, you're looking for reasons. Rashee Rice, not Rashee. Okay. You know what? I'm working on a segment here. I need Nick to finish it for me. It's called the pronunciation game. Johnny Bark sent me a thing from the NFL that has all the tough names for NFL players.
Hey,
I told
that's
Nick,
not necessarily correct because Achan, it was A-Chain before, and then he's like, no, it's Achan. So
yeah,
even those could be wrong.
So I'm having Nick make something. It's like 10 names, and you're going to present them to me, Tom.
Okay.
I'm going to have to try to say how they're pronounced, and then we'll get the phonetic spelling, and we'll just see how dumb I am.
Yep, that sounds phenomenal.
I think I'm actually correct in a lot of these. I say it the way it should be said.
That's incorrect. No, that's just false.
No. A min raw?
A mint.
A mint.
A mint raw. Yes. That's the correct one. Yeah. You know what I never mispronounce? There we go.
Underdog fantasy. Easy to say, even for a dumb boy like me. Code GPS over to Underdog. They're matching your deposit up to $500. Link in the description. The QR code also works. DeAndre Swift killed the only pick'em I actually had a chance to win. The only one, Tom. But hey, look at this.
That is a lot of yellow. Jesus Christ. It's the yellow super chat and the yellow that, so it all blended together.
Look at this. Oh, look at that. So for the pick'em tonight, whatever reason, I only got Love and Garoppolo. Maybe if I just do 2. Oh no, I can't even do that because I got to do 4 picks. Underdog. I can't even get enough guys in here.
I do like those picks that you're making though right now.
If I had 4 more to choose from,
yes.
I'll have to wait. They must be trying to figure out totals here. Lower on Garoppolo versus Green Bay. Yeah, because I think the Raiders are going to run it a lot, and the Raiders' defense not good. So I would take higher on Jordan Love.
Can you take me higher?
Can you take me, Schmeier? The only place you should be doing your pick'ems. And also, did you do the disclaimer?
I'm about to right now because I couldn't because it was an overlay that was already on.
And fantasy. Okay, Best Ball Mania tournament, their biggest tournament every summer. Maybe you messed it up. I think this is the last week to do your resurrection picks for the Resurrection League. So now that you know which guys are healthy, which rosters are shaping up, there's $300,000 in prizes, $30K to first place. So do your fantasy. Draft some fantasy teams. They'll use your best score every week. That's what the best ball format is. Link in the description, code GPS. You know, maybe like if you're a Broncos fan, you're looking for reasons to pay attention to football every week. And I wouldn't go anywhere else other than Underdog. And that includes like spending time with your family. Oh, my team's out of it. Maybe we should, maybe we should go on a hike, a nature walk this week as a family. No.
You still have yet to
Underdog
win a single
fantasy.
one, right?
What's that?
You have yet to win a single one, right?
Yeah, I've lost every single pick. And Swifty, he only finished with like 0.75 points more than I needed him to get. Oh. Because McCaffrey didn't go, even as bad as the Niners beat the Cowboys, McCaffrey was lower, and I picked him to be lower. Oh,
that man. You're right. I want to talk about the Patriots because we were getting a lot of that in our stream, which then continued in the Sunday night stream, talking about good old Bill Belichick. And if he's going to be gone, if all this stuff. And again, I was saying this yesterday, I think Bill Belichick hasn't proven himself as a GM. And if you're moving on from him, that's the position you move on from. I still think he's a good coach. And I think similar to the Broncos and similar to like the Panthers and stuff, there's situations right now that you look at and you're like, I don't know how this gets better because I think it's tough to evaluate anything on that offense because the offense is bad. Even Bill Belichick was like, listen, Mac Jones wasn't all his fault. He didn't play well. Bailey Zappi came in again. But dude, they have for the first time in a long time, The Patriots have no run game. They have
Yeah.
nothing. They have no run game. They don't have receivers that are like, they're not top end receivers. Their tight ends are okay. Their O-line is like, it's just a mix of a bunch of random players thrown together. Mac Jones is your quarterback, and you wonder why you can't get anything going.
Yeah, it's like Kendrick Bourne, not fast enough. Devontae Parker, not fast enough. Ezekiel Elliott, slow. Gesicki, slow. Juju Smith-Schuster, hurt and slow. Ty Montgomery. What year is it? Is it 2018? Like, it's
now,
just.
And here's the thing: this used to be how the Patriots operated, but the big difference is they had Tom Brady, dude.
Well, yeah.
Like, they brought in the most random like Hogan. Who the hell is Hogan? And like, Brady's like, don't worry, I'll make you good. Don't worry, like you will get better. Yeah. But like, they don't, and I'm not putting that on Mac Jones, because Tom Brady obviously is a different caliber quarterback than a lot of the quarterbacks in the NFL. But here, you have nothing that is working on offense. Nothing.
No, the run game also worked then. I think Ramondre Stevenson and the production there is one of the biggest letdowns of the season, both from actual helping the Patriots win or lose football games and fantasy production.
Happy belated birthday.
I thought Ramondre was going to be the workhorse and be consistently a guy getting between 80 and 120 yards every week. And that's the Patriots video I did this weekend. I said the same thing you did. It's like Belichick can stay there if he relinquishes his GM responsibilities,
which I don't think he will.
Because the same thing happened to the Denver Broncos with Mike Shanahan. Incredible coach. Was still a good coach, but he had too much power and authority as a GM, and some of the personnel decisions started to not make sense. And I think the hardest thing to do, though, once you have that power, is to give it up, right? You don't see a lot of guys at the top be like, yeah, I'll give up even though I think I would love to give up responsibilities the better I got at my job, but I don't think Belichick's going to do that. Speaking of Shanahan's, one more thing about the 49ers. They've scored on the first drive of every game this season. Literally the 97-98 Broncos, that was the theme every week with the Mike Shanahan coach teams, where the first 10 to 15 scripted plays for their offense worked flawlessly. And every week they were scoring on that opening drive, and you immediately put the team you're playing in a deficit.
Yep.
And that benefits you as a team as well. And the Pats losing this bad 34-0 a week after Belichick had the worst blowout or the worst loss 38-3 or whatever it was against the Cowboys. To see the Patriots lose that bad to the Cowboys and the Cowboys get their ass kicked by the 49ers should tell you how bad the Pats are right now.
Correct. Yeah. But, I mean, I think it starts with your O-line, because their O-line is not good. So because of that, they're not able to run. Yeah. They're not able to pass. Mm-hmm. And again, even when you are passing, it's not to amazing players. So right now, and I'm trying not to be like that guy who just makes... I don't know what you keep on that offense. Legitimately. I don't... Stevenson, I like, and maybe it's the O-line, so maybe that's it. But dude, I don't know what you keep. Because it just seems like the island of misfit toys. You brought in a bunch of free agents. You're like, all right, here's Juju Smith-Schuster. Sure. This will work out. And it's just not, it's not good.
No.
It's not. And again, if there was a game plan that was hey, listen, we're going to suck. Right. And I think they talked about this and said oh, there's pressure and expectations, being in New England. And of course, the Patriots history and all that stuff. And we kind of were okay, well, wait. And it's just this early week 5 and the season's over and it's not going to get better. I feel like there are a handful of teams, and maybe I just forgot from last year. I feel like it wasn't this bad. I feel like there weren't 5 to 8 teams where you're oh yeah, your season's over. And it's the first week of October.
Yeah, there's some bad teams right now.
I think you're a little echoey, buddy.
Well, I think I'm echoing on, your side. So I think I can hear myself through your mic sometimes. But I think that's because you have that echo cancel. You can't click that echo cancellation because then it messes up your mic. So every now and then, before it like adjusts, I come in hot on your side.
Can you hear it yourself now?
No, I can only hear it like every now and then.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a consistent thing.
I kicked my speaker all the way over there, so.
Okay.
Now I can't hear you, but it's fine.
That's a good way to do the show.
It's fine. It's fine.
So there were 2 wins I was rather impressed with yesterday. One was the Jags. Okay. The Jags in London beat a very good Bills team. And I'm very, very concerned about the Buffalo Bills and the injury situation there. Jacksonville, it's not like they dominated Buffalo, but their defense kept them in that game. And I think the Jags have a defense not enough people are talking about. But also the Lions. They beat a bad Panthers team.
Yes.
But they kicked their ass.
They kicked their ass. And
they did it without some of their top guys in. Right? Oh, yeah. No Amon-Ra. Branch was out, right? Wasn't Branch out?
Brian Branch, I don't know if he was out.
Was Brian Branch hurt?
I know. I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown was out, and I was like, oh, okay.
Let's see here. Were there any?
Why would the Rams ever trade Cooper Kupp? No, they're not. They're not doing it. The Rams are going to actually try to do something, and they might actually be able to, which is interesting. I did not expect them to rebound this quickly.
Yeah, but either way, like this is what the Lions were supposed to do.
He was out. Yes, he was. Brian Branch was out. Yes.
Yeah. Lions of previous years. Hot start, playing well. You just see them lose these games. You see them lose, right? So I like the Lions win.
We got full days, my friend. We would love to, but we got full days. So I got to put out 4 videos today.
Yeah, Mondays are so busy.
Yeah, Mondays.
We really should be doing shows Tuesday morning, too, to talk about Monday Night Football, but not until somebody pays us $1 billion.
Oh, that'd be nice.
God. I'd work for exactly 1 year.
And then you're like, I'm out.
Sorry,
navigate me to retirement.
Ravens, 7 drops by their receivers.
Yep. Oh my God, dude.
Most in a single game since 2013, I believe.
Dude.
The Ravens could have killed the Steelers in their hopes, their dreams. Steelers are still in the the NFC North or the AFC North is stupid right now.
I took them, like, spoilers, I took them all off my power rankings. I'm like, nope. I'm not putting you back on until somebody pretends to like be good. I'm done. Yeah. I can't do it no more. Can't. I mean, yeah, the Ravens, their loss is probably the most frustrating loss yesterday. I'm saying even over the Broncos because like they had that game won. Like it was won, it was done, cooked. Have a nice day. And now the Steelers are in first place in the AFC North. The Browns had a bye, but the Browns are playing the 49ers next week, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the games that like really stood out to me yesterday, the Jaguars game, and I know it's in London, and Bills fans are like, it's the turf, and it's also, you know, they had to travel, and the Jaguars were staying there. I'm just gonna talk about it from the Jaguars' point of view. They needed this win. Yeah, their defense looked really good, and it was really able, like. The Bills like couldn't do anything in like the first until that Stephon Diggs touchdown, you know, and it just they ran the ball well. ETN is really good, and Trevor Lawrence played pretty well, except for the fumbles. Because like I said, they could have won by more if it wasn't for those fumbles. So
those fumbles. One was Trevor Lawrence being dumb with the football, the same way Russell Wilson was at the end of that game. I watched that stupid ass fumble so many times last night, Tom, by Russ, and it was a really great play by God, is it Williams on the Jets? Like he just instead of going to like tackle Russ, he swats his hand in there and knocks the ball free. But Russ is carrying the football like this, like a little loaf of bread, like running with the football like this.
Yeah,
saw Trevor Lawrence. Not safe with the football.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you just say Russell Wilson was running with?
A little loaf of bread.
Yeah, pretty much everybody eats bread.
Sorry, I just had to.
No, it's exactly. That's exactly what I put in the episode. But like, one of Lawrence's fumbles was a great play by the Bills defense. The other one was just got to protect the ball, especially in the red zone. Live to fight another down, guys. And it nearly cost Jacksonville, but it didn't. Officiating in that game was annoying. Both teams, I thought, had bad calls go against them. Kind of a wash there. But the Bills, again, we're talking about like they can't run the football effectively. And it's we've said like I've said like
they've been doing it so well, Brandon.
I know. 14 yards from Josh Allen, 13 from Damian Harris, 6 from Latavius Murray, -4 for James Cook on the day. Like, it doesn't have to be incredible, it doesn't have to be a lot, but it needs to be situationally. You need to be able to get a few first downs running the football. It will help tremendously. Because like Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, both over 100 receiving yards in that game, and touchdowns didn't matter. Just didn't matter.
The problem is that the loss of this game in the grand scheme of things is not the problem for the Bills. The problem for the Bills is that Matt Milano is now out. And the fact that they already lost Trey White and now they lost Matt Milano and it's week 5 and you're like, crap. And again, Trey White, that hurts. Can't get around it. But Matt Milano being out, what happened?
The Bills need to call the Broncos to trade for Alex Singleton. 7th best player in the league. Buffalo, get on the phone, call the Broncos, get Alex Singleton to help reduce the sting of losing Matt Milano. They should be calling around to find somebody to help fill in there.
Yeah.
That's just like Trey White, Matt Milano, your best corner, top 3 linebacker right now in the league in Milano. Von Miller was back, but then he didn't play much in the second half. Did he get hurt again, or was it just more like snap count? Let me look. Von Miller, was he hurt?
Yeah. It's not like that's the bigger problem. It's injuries again, because that's what derailed them last season too. Josh Allen got hurt. Their entire secondary was decimated. Like, that's the big problem, is that they're a good football team. They're a very good football team. But damn, like, they cannot stay healthy. And when guys go down, it's guys that are crucial to that defense.
Yeah. I mean, they got a lot of guys. Because Greg Russo wasn't even playing, right?
Yeah. No, they had a bunch of backups.
Yeah, but like Jordan Phillips was playing well. Ed Oliver was playing well. Like, other guys were stepping up and keeping them in the game. It just, over the course of an entire game, it didn't work. But
because again, they have a good enough team to overcome a lot of that stuff. But when you're playing against good teams like the Jaguars, they're kind of rebounding a little bit. It's going to be tough. And like, again, then you add on the jet lag, a different place, the Jaguars being prepared. Then you add all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to you're playing injured. It gets worse throughout the game. It's key guys who are injured. And it's going to be difficult.
I think you get to London as soon as you can. Like, I don't know. They flew there, Friday or some shit?
I don't know when they flew.
Like, just leave the day after whatever your game is. It's usually a rest day for guys anyway. Leave that Monday. Let everybody acclimate. I think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I mean, probably help.
Yeah.
But
the Vikings, you fumbling on the first play. Jesus. Minnesota. I think it was a tight end that fumbled.
The Vikings.
Who was it? I don't think it was TJ Hawkinson. I don't think.
They flew up on Thursday or Friday. Someone said Thursday and someone said Friday. So one of those.
Either way, get there sooner. Get there right away.
Another team real quick that I do want to talk about is the Texans and Falcons. It was Josh Oliver who fumbled.
Josh Oliver. Okay, yeah. See? So it's like it's a different guy effing up. Bad.
Desmond Ridder, he had a good game.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure, because same thing with like CJ Stroud, because let's be very honest, the national media does not talk about the Texans a lot, right? And so when CJ Stroud was doing well, it's like, it's important. Like, hey, listen, like, this guy is looking good. He's looking like one of the best rookies from this year out of that QB class, 100%, right? They lost yesterday, and C.J. Stroud, 249. He played okay. Yeah, he played pretty well. Damian Pierce got a little bit more on the ground. Yeah. But Desmond Ridder.
CJ threw the lead-taking touchdown with less than 2 minutes in the game to Dalton Schultz. So, like, he had a clutch moment. Like, you're like, damn, ice in his veins.
So,
but, Tom,
same exact thing with the Falcons is that Desmond Ridder has been crapped on, like, nonstop. Yes, like, it's like, when are they going to trade him? When are they going to move on from him? When are they going to start Taylor Heineke? Like, blah, 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 blah. And Desmond Ridder, like, he played like a starter yesterday. So I just want to shout him out because, like, he played pretty damn well. And it was with, like, they had, like, Bijan was, 14 for 46? Like, it wasn't, like, anything that was, like, super crazy. And, like, no, but Desmond Ridder basically, like, helped them set up for that field goal.
Yeah. Second week in a row, Bijan's made just, like, a dumb catch. He, like,
that's behind the ball, like, oh, my God.
But Ridder, after CJ throws that touchdown, he leads the Falcons down, gets them into field goal range. Young Wei Koo comes in, kicks like another game-winning field goal. He had, I don't remember the stat, but he's hit a lot of clutch field goals in his career for them. So yeah, the Falcons deserve some love.
Yes.
They're 3-2 in a oddly competitive division, you know? We thought one team was just going to run away with the NFC South, but the Bucs look good. The Saints, we said they were dead before they just killed the Patriots.
Yep.
I picked the Patriots to win that game. God, I was wrong about the Patriots.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ridder, you did it. You done good.
I just wanted to shout him out. Just want to show the Falcons some love. Also, Jamar Chase was like, "Hey, I'm open."
Yep.
192 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He picked the wrong week because he still didn't outperform DJ Moore.
They're like, yeah, you did well, Jamar, but you're not DJ Moore.
You didn't have 200 plus yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's it. Oh my God. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game tonight. I think the Packers should win that game. But good God, please don't. I know it's going to be Josh Jacobs' bounce back game. I know it's going to be.
It feels like it, right?
I know it's going to be. I just know it is. I'm just hoping they actually utilize Aaron Jones because they have a terrible run defense. So it's like, hey, let's please.
If the Falcons, if the Packers, if the Broncos. Bye. Where am I, Tom?
I thought you were doing a bit.
Brain of mine. Not even close.
So
I'm not even close on executing the English language at a 6th grade level.
There's an improv game that I used to play a lot in college called Change, and you just did that without. So it'd just be like, the Broncos, I say change. You'd be like, the Packers, I say change. You go the Falcons. So that's what you just did, but I said nothing.
God. I meant to say if the Broncos didn't give up 350 rushing yards to the Dolphins, because that is a bit of an outlier. The Packers would have the worst run defense in the league. Now, the Broncos gave up, I think, did they give up over 200 yesterday? I think they gave up 200 yards yesterday. So really, just don't give up 200 yards and you guys can stay in second place. But that might be your Achilles heel.
We're going to see, babe. We're going to see. Perna, you put out a new worst video, or worst game, excuse me. Late last night.
Late. I think it uploaded at midnight.
Go watch it, baby. Go do it. What else you got coming out?
Today, just working on winners and losers to go up Tuesday morning. Oh, if you want to see the BTS of me struggling through the game yesterday, my wife, Jess Brain, her YouTube channel just got monetized, by the way.
Let's go.
Go make her some money. So I can quit. I can quit on Tom the way the Broncos quit on me every week.
She's 60 subs away from 5,000. Oh, we'll get her there. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
No, I got this right now. Hold on. No, right now. I'm going to put it right in the chat.
I'm going to put it in, too.
Boom. No, I'll just do it right here. Boom. Boom. Go subscribe. Boom. I just put it on the Twitters, too. Bam. Bam.
Bam. Rushing it.
Yeah, just there. Only 60 away. It's a cakewalk. I got if the NFL was scripted, coming out today, every NFL fan's reaction going to come out after Monday Night Football. Streaming the Packers game tonight. Packers post game will be out after that too. And yeah, that's a
busy day.
Do
you like doing the NFL scripted or the every fan reacts better?
They're completely different. I like the scripted ones because it allows me to like have more fun, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it's like a really fun concept.
I like it a lot. And I thought it would like get old or I wouldn't be able to do it every week. But like in my opinion, like they're just getting better. So
yeah,
I'm enjoying. We got
so much
lots to talk
material
about
too.
this week. So let's go, baby. But folks, we appreciate the ever-living heck out of you. We had over 7,000 people in here joining us today. So thank you very much for making this show part of your routine.
Yeah,
but
baby.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been, by the way, she just hit 5,000 subs.
Yeah, baby.
Been navigated.
Make sure you thumbs up Tom's stream for helping my wife. Likes all around.